Hi guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for being here. I think this is my first sit down on my channel. No, it's not. I've done. Because I was gonna say I've done. It's my first sit down with someone. It is my first sit down with someone other
On
than
your
my
channel?
sister or my cousin. Yeah.
On your channel?
No, I've done sit downs with
You've
other
done
people.
with it.
Okay.
It's the amnesia.
Well, yeah, it is. It's not my first sit down with someone, but I have someone very, very special. Someone's got a powerful voice and someone who's got beauty in her hands. Literally, guys, do you see this face? It was all thanks to Sethu. This is our first collaboration and hopefully not our last. We already have a video. I'm not sure if you're going to post before or after me, but I'll link her channel below.
Yeah.
We did a video together.
Yes.
Can you do a little introduction, Yana? Tell us about your channel also.
Hi guys, I am Sethu Gumede. I shoot, should I say lifestyle content? I shoot lifestyle content, I shoot faith-based content, I shoot mommy content, I shoot beauty I'm now going into the beauty space.
Please, can we bully her?
Yeah,
to be serious
all
about it?
things along there. I'm a musician, so next year there'll definitely be more covers on my channel. There'll definitely be more music chats on my channel, so be on the lookout for that.
I'll link her
I'm
channel.
so happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm actually at her home. She's saying she's happy to be here. Anyway, you guys, so the reason why I wanted to have this conversation is a couple of months ago, I made a friend at work. Her name is Tinyiko, and she's married.
Okay.
And she says to me that, so when on my channel, when you go back to my first few videos, it's all the comments are all hate. Hate. I was hated for telling my story. From women, of course, married women. And I've always had a very love-hate relationship with married women because I've never been treated well by married women, even with, as a single mother, you go through a lot. In spaces where there are married women and single mothers, obviously your husband, let's say you had a husband, sees me struggling with my child. His first instinct is to help out. You already see the judgment from the married woman. You already see how they're looking at you thinking, because I don't know why some married women think we want their husbands. So anyway, so all the hateful hates, and then Utinyiko, this friend I made, she says she actually watches my channel to learn as a married woman, and she feels like she's learning so much. And I'm like, I've never actually thought that we could actually learn from each other, especially married women learning from single mothers. And that got me thinking. I did a podcast with Promise Makunyane. I think it's probably sitting on 200,000 views. And probably, if there's 100 comments, 99 of them are hateful. And it's married women. Then I'm like, okay, cool. I clearly trigger a lot of married women. And I also trigger some single mothers who haven't healed or are not on, who haven't accepted their reality, their situation. And the married women I trigger are the married women who probably stayed with men who cheated on them. I understand.
Or stayed with men they're just not happy with.
They're just not happy with. I understand all of that, but there's only so much hate Nami I can take. So sometimes Nami I throw shots at married women. So, but on the same breath, for me, it's just a matter of why is there a divide. And I wanted to sit and talk to Sethu. Sethu has been on both sides. Being a married woman and now on the single mom side. And not to say that we're not I don't want to say that, oh, be careful, can happen to anyone, but it's basically, it can happen to anyone. And the whole point of this video is how we can learn from each other and also learn to support each other. Married women supporting single women supporting married women, because we actually have way more in common than you'd like to believe or like to admit. So I don't know if you're comfortable sharing like your story, your journey. When did you get married? When did you decide to leave? And that transition from thinking that this is my family, this is how, because you did things the right way. But now you're here doing it alone, and you probably never thought that you would have to do it alone. Okay, we've got a new member.
We've got a guest.
So we're going to be talking about you. So might as well pitch in.
I think in my case, okay, let me give you guys a little bit of a backstory. So 2021, got married, fell pregnant 2022, and then my marriage ended mid this year, 2023. So got married, the order that it's supposed to happen in. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes baby. Literally that's how it happened. However, with me, obviously it didn't end well per se. However, I did experience the cuteness of the beginning.
She wants wine.
She wants that water.
Guys, we have wine over here.
Guys, I'm stressed. Here's your water.
She wants the other one.
Thank you. Here's your water. Thank you.
I'm sorry I snitched on you. Sorry.
But I didn't feel, even after the marriage ended, I didn't feel much of a difference on the parent front.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Yes, he was there. Yes, I think you actually mentioned this in the video we just did, that the roles aren't necessarily the same.
Yes.
For both moms and dads. And where I think that's where I feel we meet, even with moms that are still married or moms that are still with their partners. The roles are pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
I think our struggles as well are pretty much the same. For example, when my daughter was still very young, she was colicky for her first few months. And I would be running up and down alone with a colicky baby, and this man is just sitting there. And even when you would ask him for help, he's like, "Get fine, I don't know what to do." And I'm just like,
you also, it's your first time doing this.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So like, you understand what I'm saying? For men, I don't think the pressure is that much as it is on women. Whether it's your first child, whether it's your second child, whether you've never had kids before, or whether you're still trying to have kids as a couple, the pressure is always on the mom. Once the kid gets here, the pressure is on the mom. It's always a thing of, as women, we're practically facing struggles that are so similar, which I think is so true when you say that we're all basically going through the same thing. So basically the struggles we all have as women, I genuinely feel like are the same. I think the hate does stem from maybe what you said, that being vocal as a woman is frowned upon.
Yes. Yeah.
And so because of the woman who raised us, when we get married, they obviously and then when they see a woman like yourself, or a woman like myself, who's open about the fact that, hey, I'm divorced and I'm a mom, or hey, I went through this, and so on and so forth, to them it's off-putting, because as do you understand? Forgetting that we're in 2023, and the dynamics of our great-grandfathers and our grandfathers and our dads, and the dynamics of the people we're dealing with now are day and night.
Yeah.
Literally day and night. The way our dads thought, or the way our grandfathers thought, and the way, I wouldn't say the way men have been raised. I don't want to go that deep. I know that we're also
some favors.
But the culture amongst men right now, we can't be still Tina Laba Sialakon, or thinking like how our grandmothers thought, when these men be moving so weird.
Moving wild.
These men be moving so weird. So I think that's what it is. And I actually wish women spoke more. Yeah. Because I've got friends who are married, who, when you look at their situation, they're single moms.
You're single moms, yeah.
And a person will say, no, but then at least they've got shelter, and at least the husband provides 1, 2, 3. I've got shelter, I live in Kaya. My child's father provides 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Siafana.
Yeah. Literally, siafana. And for me, I always say that I think it's even worse with, I know that when I go home, I only need to worry about my kids. I just need to cook for my kids, and if we don't feel like cooking, we don't.
Yeah.
Now I can't imagine having to worry about my children. And there's also a whole grown man who's supposed to be my partner. Yeah. He wants to lead, he wants to be called a leader. I must submit, I must do all of these things, I must respect. But you're not doing anything or helping out. Obviously, guys, this is not to say all marriages are like that. But for me, I've seen so many DMs. Whenever I speak up about these things, I get DMs from, most of the time, married women saying sometimes they actually wish they're in my position, because, as mentioned, it's better to take care of 2 kids and you are by yourself. Like, I know I'm a single mom. Like, I know for sure I'm a single mom. There's no, hey, but he's here, but he's not. I'm a single mom. Then for these women that I usually speak to, they're always just like, I'm not a single mom. You're not supposed to. You have a partner.
That's crazy. And, I mean, for me, I experienced that in a sense, your routine. once my partner and I separated, I don't want to say it was one less problem, but I did feel the weight.
It's lighter.
Of, literally. And not even in a bad way to say, oh, finally.
Yeah.
But I now became a better mom because I'm no longer dealing with your issues. Because they've got issues. And don't also get me wrong. I have also friends, I've got family members who have very supportive husbands, who are in very beautiful marriages, who have husbands who are doing the most when it comes to being a dad, when it comes to being a husband, who help out. But in most cases, guys, if we're being honest, look at the dynamic in your home where you were raised. Look at the dynamic in your home.
Mom did everything.
Yeah,
Mom does everything.
where you were raised, your mom would come back from work. She is cooking, she's cleaning,
helping you with
homework, she's making sure that you're clean and sorted, your stuff for school tomorrow are sorted, she's making sure that dad's stuff are sorted for him tomorrow, dad is fed. I was so gobsmacked. I mean, I've always watched my mom serve my dad. I was so gobsmacked when a friend of mine said her mom used to, there's 6 of them in England. And she's the middle, or she's the second to the oldest. She's the second born.
Okay.
Second to the oldest. I think the second to the oldest. She's basically the second born. And she said to me, my mom used to wash my dad's feet every night when we got back from work. With 6 kids? 6 kids. Every night? But I guess it worked for them. But that's basically what I'm saying. Is look at that dynamic.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And right now, because women are becoming more vocal, isn't that great? Because women have become more vocal, and because women have become more aware of the things that are happening.
Yeah.
Now, because they vocalize it, it's bad. It doesn't mean Uma wasn't experiencing it.
Yes.
She just wasn't.
She didn't speak about
vocalizing it.
That's true.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And we're not saying at all, as single women, basically saying, nani go through it.
Yeah.
No, we're basically saying, do not make it seem like we're that far apart.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
Definitely.
Do not make it seem like, because I honestly get where you're coming from. My fear of talking was because I was afraid that I'm from the Christian community. People would be like, oh God, like, you're not even supposed to be talking about the fact that you got divorced. Like, the Lord hates divorce, right? OSB, on top of all of that, you also talking about things that were happening in your home. But that's my experience. And how many people have you helped to tell your story?
Oh my God, guys. Like, not to even sound like I've got a big head or whatever, the DMs I get. For me, when I started this channel, I was just like, even if it's just one woman, I have one woman, and it has been way more than one. And I want to touch on this thing of the Christian community. Actually, just like, the one thing I've noticed, most of married women are told not to be friends with single women, right? I still will never understand the reasoning behind that, because I remember I've got a married friend in old time that's married, and we're close. And when I say to her, when she says, well, this thing of being friends with single women, blah blah blah, and I'm like, why? They're like, no, because single women, if you tell me about your problems, the first thing I'm going to say is leave him.
I'm
I'm going to say that, but you're not done. I'm going to listen to
what you're sleep. I get you.
I'm obviously going to say leave. Like, as a single woman, leave. Like, you're better off without him. But now there comes in that thing with him. I think I watched Bulima Kubo's video a couple of months ago. She did with her sister. They're talking about divorced women don't have community. It's because when you were married, you're told you can't be friends with single women. But now that you are now a single woman, you now have to literally start from scratch, because you can't be friends with the same married woman you're friends with, because they like...
And now these single women are like, girl,
you left us!
Me.
But we actually can continue the friendship. Like, I've got married friends, and it's their mothers or their grandmothers who are like, why are you friends with her? She's single. And I'm just like, guys, I would like to one day sit with Abantu Badala and ask, what's the problem? Do you think that single woman wants your husband?
I think that's where it stems from. It's the insecurity, obviously, amongst women. And if we're being completely honest, our moms, like our grandmothers and our great grandmothers, those women believed that their men are the
And
heaven
all the all,
and the earth.
Yeah. And didn't believe in friendship.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anything or anyone, those people betrayed their own families for their husbands. They would betray their own sister. As soon as they feel Usiswami is looking at my husband with a certain eye, they don't mind leaving their sisters. You understand what I'm saying? So I can also kind of understand that. And I think also the point of, I mean, in the religious, the standpoint of you can't be friends with women that are single. Honestly, I don't stand by that, but I kind of also maybe get where it might be coming from on a biblical standpoint. Because, I mean, biblically we feel whoever you surround yourself with, or the people you surround yourself with, you become. Or those conversations, your counsel, you start speaking at them, you start sounding like them. But I also do not feel that in 2023, I cannot hang out with Amanda because Amanda is not married and I'm married, and in 2023 you still think I don't know how to think for myself.
And that's my thing, guys. I cannot be that influential. I'm gonna make my friend divorce her husband. Of course, as a single woman, as mentioned, my go-to will always be leave that man today.
Of course.
But I'm not gonna influence you to Swadala, it's 2023. Goodness into that I'm going to call you for, and I think I won't call you for. Like, I'm not going to call you to go to the club.
Of course.
I'm not going to call you at 2 a.m., you know. But
I mean...
I'll call you to go to the club. But like, it's just those things. Goodness into that, as you say, there's understandable why there's that dynamic, but there's no need for us to not be friends at all.
And I think it also goes back to, there's certain friends for certain things.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I don't want to say compartmentalize, because that means then the other is more important than the other.
Yeah,
but I do feel I love my friends in the same regard. But yeah, basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
If I know that I want to go and have a fun lunch somewhere bougie and have some wine, I'm gonna call Mandy. Yeah. I know the conversation's gonna be great. I know she'll know where we can go. Yeah. You understand? And if I have a friend who like, I've got a friend who I always tell her, I'm like, thank you for being my therapist. Like, she gets it. She gets it. Mostly because we go through the same things or similar things, especially when it comes to our mental health. So she gets it. I'm not going to call my sister for that. I'm just going to be like, I'm really important for. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. So, yeah, I get that. On a biblical standpoint, I get that. On a believer standpoint, I get it. But I also feel like it's 2023. Come on, which is the same conversation we should also be having about single moms and married moms. We can't relate. I feel like we can definitely.
Oh, we definitely relate, and I understand. I don't know if I want to understand. I understand the hierarchy, because married women. I'm married women. They guys, and you just like, and I understand that's how it's been conditioned. Yeah. But sometimes I feel like we write ourselves off as women to have beautiful, meaning friendships and connections because I'm married, you're single. And in that, we write ourselves off from learning from each other. You know how much I can learn from your situation and how much you can learn from my situation. And if we were friends, if while you were married or even before your marriage, you would have known that it's okay if I'm going to be a single mother. Yeah. Like, it's actually okay, because here's a friend of mine who's a single mother doing it. Why can't I?
Doing it. And I mean, in my case as well, for example, my sister-in-law, right? She's got a son, got a daughter. They're around the same age, and she's married. My brother is very much supportive. Yeah. My brother is the one person who is just like, even if I was to say men are trash, I'd probably swallow my words halfway through, because I'm just like, no, but actually.
Okay. You do know some good men.
Yeah. No, but actually, you understand what I'm saying. But even with that, he works most of the week. Right, and her and I would have the conversation, and they kind of have an agreement, they have an understanding, cool. But if we really look into it,
she's putting in more.
She's putting more work as far as being a parent is concerned. Yeah. But that's an agreement that they had.
Yeah,
okay, I'll hold up the financial front. You hold up this front. Okay. But let me tell you something. On weekends, when he's around, he is dadding. That girl's got a glass of wine in her hand.
Love it for her.
No. She wakes up with the boy, she takes a shower, she comes and she hangs on here. She's like, we're going to them. I'm like, honey, I got plans. She's like, okay, I'm going to make my own plans.
Yeah.
Because they have an understanding. The scary thing is, or the crazy thing is, she's probably the only person that I would say I have seen that dynamic work healthily with. Do you understand what I'm saying? In most cases, women are going through the most. We can move to Jellywood. For example,
he's got boys weekend.
I'll make an example for myself. I woke up on my own for breastfeeds, right?
Yes.
And the whole story would be like, I've got to go to work tomorrow. And on weekends, it's, I've been at work the whole day.
Oh, so I'm tired. Okay, our guest is back. You want me?
Our guest is back.
You want to play with my hair? Come sit with me. Let's play with my hair. Yay. Guys, it has taken the whole day for little princess to like me. Here's my hair. You can play with my hair.
And you've made it now. You've graduated.
Yes, now. Now she's my BFF. You can play with my hair, eh? Do you want to touch it? No?
So, it's a thing of, then when do we rest?
Yeah.
When do we get time off? And the thing is, women are so afraid to talk about this because they feel I'm being ungrateful because at least this man is here.
Yeah.
But then how long are we going to normalize that at least this man is here as if he's doing you a favor?
As if he's doing you a favor when you are doing the most. And also, I mean, the shame in speaking up.
Yeah.
Like, I've been shamed so much for speaking up. So I can imagine how much more difficult and shameful it is to speak up while you're still in the situation. For me, it was easy for me to speak up about my deadbeats because I was out of the situation. So I understand very why married women wouldn't want to speak up about that, but I don't like how then it translates into you seeming like you have an issue with single mothers and
people who are actually using their voice.
And people who are actually using their voice. Like, guys, I'm not taking this from anywhere. Like, if you want to see how much married women, how much I make them foam in them. I know the married women who watch my channel. We're good. I know you guys. But if you want to see what I'm talking about, go to the podcast I did with Promise Makunyane. You will see the hate.
I haven't read
comments that I get. Even the second one I did about dating as a single mother. I was just talking about dating, but the married woman was still in my comments. And I'm just like,
guys, are you guys mad because I'm dating? You guys want to
what is it now? What do you want me to do? I'm not with this man that you guys thought I was here to take, because I understand, obviously, it's a community or whatever. Like, I understand all of that, and I understand where the hate is coming from. But for me, my thing is, once again, the more you hate and the more you show hate towards single women who are doing it by themselves, it's the more you ostracize yourself from the very same woman that you will need. Not to say single women, obviously, at the end or be all, you gonna need us one day. Not to say that your marriage is gonna be done, but even in your marriage, you will need single women. They are the people. I need to a married woman. I can't call a married woman at 2 a.m. But you can call a single woman at 2 a.m. So you do understand, because as a married woman, you actually can benefit from having. Yes, basically what I'm trying to say is there's space and there's an opportunity for all of us to be friends, and we need each other. I truly believe. I've got married friends, but I have to say, Namike, in the beginning there was a time where I was just like, I don't want to be friends with married women.
Why?
Only because of how they've treated me before. Always being treated like I want your man, and you're just like, nobody wants a cheating man. Nobody wants a cheating husband. You want him. If anything, we're trying to get you out of that marriage. That's not a good man.
It's the fact that for you, all your husbands are cheaters.
Because if you think I want your man, clearly he's wantable.
Clearly you don't trust your man.
He's wantable. So I think because of how I've been treated by married women in the past, and especially once they know my story, then it's so for the longest time I was like, I'm not trying to be friends with married women. And the first married woman I became friends with is my friend Tato. She was just like, well, I'm going to be your friend. And luckily she was the first married woman I became friends with, and she doesn't think like how of the other married women I've met. She's very secure in her marriage. She's very also like, she goes out with us. She's not I'm married, you're single. She doesn't she doesn't do that hierarchy thing, It doesn't remind, some other people would like to remind you, don't forget I'm married. And she's like, what does that have to do with the price of bread? I'm just asking you if you want to do lunch, So, and after her, then I've opened myself more to being friends with married women. And luckily, God has brought some of the most amazing married friends in my life. And now I'm learning so much from them. And recently I had lunch with a married friend, and she said she's going through like a bad patch in her marriage. And she said, like, it's a thing, but I'm so glad we cross paths, because I'm watching you do it with 2 kids by yourself. It means, Nami, should I decide to actually leave my marriage, I can do it.
Can I tell you something? In most cases, and I'm going to say speaking from experience, in most cases, those setups are also because of the husband. You will find that the husband will feel threatened by your presence in this woman's life because they can see, number one, you're very liberated in the way you think. You're very liberated in the way you articulate things and in the way you interpret things. And for some men, that's a threat, because if you're going to be around my wife, you're going to open her eyes up to things. And if we're being honest, guys, and this is an honest conversation, if we're being honest, men aren't really happy when a woman is fully in her I know myself. No. When a woman is fully in her I understand myself. And when a woman is fully standing up for herself.
It's the kind of manipulation.
It's very few marriages, and these are marriages I know of. It's very few marriages where women are allowed to be openly secure, openly vocal, and openly aware.
Yeah.
A woman is hardly allowed to be woke.
Yes.
In their marriage. So when you meet another single woman, or when your wife brings a single woman into the group, basically, if men listen to the conversations,
they do.
And even if they don't listen to the conversations, they will. What do they call it? They will they bring up the conversations in the pillow talk. So when they're with their partner, and immediately when they hear Wuti, hi Yazi, and if Wuti, I agree with her, like, why can't I wear my dress? Why can't I? Already they're like, woo, Amanda.
She has to go.
Amanda.
Yeah.
Amanda said I look nice in this dress, baby. Also, why can't I just rock my dress?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Already you're a threat to this man, because it's like, no, this is my life, and I've already not necessarily programmed her. I don't think you can program a human, but we've already created this system amongst each other that makes me comfortable. Do you understand? And I think it's also the same way, but men will never have the conversation that women feel when a man surrounds themselves with the single friends. Because a woman will be...
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
No one ever tells men to stop being friends with their single friends when they get married. Why is the conversation
even
not the same?
if me, as a woman, I was to say to a man, depending on the kind of man you're married to, my goodness, if you're married to a king, thanks God. But in most cases, when a woman says, I'm in town to one man and I don't want you to hang out with that person, instead, they will go to one man, and you become the talk of the bride.
Enemy.
You become the talk of the bride, and you become the enemy.
Oh, and they don't protect you from that.
They don't.
I mean, as your husband, you're supposed to protect.
You become the talk of the bride, and now all of a sudden, we are controlling her allowance.
All I said was, I don't like your friend, because he'd be bringing a different woman every night.
I don't like the way your friend doesn't respect women.
Yeah.
I don't like the way your friend behaves when he's drunk. Already, just so you in him.
Now you're up.
Yes. And will that man stop being friends with that woman?
No, they don't. They don't.
No.
But we are so quick to discard each other just because now we don't live the same lifestyle.
Yep.
Even though, as you're saying, behind closed doors, we kind of are living the same lifestyle. The only difference is that you have a man in the house and I don't. But our struggles from the conversations that I've had with lately I've been very intentional about having conversations with married women, because I'm just like, I just need to understand where the hate comes from. You know, y'all can't hate me because my baby dad is married. It can't be that, because it's not your husband.
That's true.
Why are you mad about that? And that's why I say, maybe because I trigger you because you haven't left that man who cheated on you, and I'm so open about, my baby dad is married, and I expect to co-parent with him, because
I think it's a trigger.
They always tell me when I say I expect to co-parent with my baby daddy. I'm expecting to co-parent because he's married.
And oh my goodness, which then also helps you understand the psyche of your baby daddy's wife. Then, if these women are already speaking this way, you then understand the psyche of this woman. Because for her it's literally
all the married women have told me I'm delusional for expecting to co-parent with my baby daddy and his wife. I'm like, we are supposed to co-parent all three of us. It's not supposed to happen. And then they tell me I'm delusional and I'm just like, guys, besides, without sounding disrespectful, men are the easiest people to get.
Facts.
If I'm told today.
Facts.
So trust me, nobody wants your cheating husband. Nobody wants that. For me, it's just a matter of I just want to co-parent. So that's why I've been very intentional about trying to understand about why do we hate each other so much? Like, where's the hate for single mothers coming from married women? Is it because we are a reflection of your life? That's a life that you're not ready to open up about. But instead of spewing hate, how about maybe just keep quiet again?
Yeah. I think the hate does come from that. It comes from a bitterness. it comes from a place of they actually I believe you, because they look at their lives and they're just like, what would I be able to do
without him? And you can do so much.
There's so much that you can do. There's so much that you can do. But I also feel, Uguti, maybe then there needs to be a bigger conversation of what conversations are you having with your partner that you feel you can't be secure enough to have him surrounded by, or to have him around a friend of yours that is single, or to have him around a friend of yours that is not married. And also what conversations are being had in that very same setting where you feel that you cannot be around a woman who is not married because I don't understand it. Guys, we are one in the same.
We are women. We understand
that makes
each other.
us different is that you've got someone to cuddle with in the evening, and we don't.
and I might actually have a couple of people that I cuddle with in the evening. You just have the one also that God and the world knows about. I probably also have someone I'm cuddling with
because my child has a dad. The only difference is that he doesn't stay with me. But she has a dad that takes care of her, that makes sure that she has everything she needs on a month-to-month basis. The only difference is I'm not having to live with him. And that was a choice that I made because living with him proved to be harder than what I'm going through right now. If I'm being honest. I can only imagine the torture I would have been going through right now if I was still parenting with him in the same house, playing mother and father. It would have been hell. I probably wouldn't have even been this mom that I am right now.
You wouldn't.
I probably would have not even been this happy person that I am right now. And it really takes you as a woman really sitting and thinking, Guti, you know what? I need to pick my battles. Am I going to be a good mom? Or am I going to be a good wife? Because let me tell you something, you can play both, and it's possible to play both. But if you're playing the ball on your own, and the person is not meeting you where you need to be met, one of the two are going to fall apart. And in most cases, it's the mom. In most cases, it's always the mom hands that falls. Do you understand? And women are always playing the battle trying to keep the mom hat up while also trying to keep this thing up. And it's just like, Booty, why am I pulling you up on my own?
And
while also trying to be a mom.
Shouldn't be done by yourself.
They shouldn't.
Especially the one of the wife hat.
They shouldn't.
It's a partnership.
They genuinely shouldn't. So I had to sit and be like, okay, I need to pick my struggles. Do you understand? Because I could have easily, Amanda, I could have easily still been a married mom. Right now. I could have easily still been in my home with my husband and my daughter, but I can guarantee you, I would have probably been one of the ladies attacking you in your comment section. Because I would have been bitter, I would have been mad, and I wouldn't understand how is she so liberated? How did she
How is she out doing it by herself?
Why is she out?
When you say that, I once met this other woman, random woman, and I was just telling her a story about how just basically I just want to co-parent with my baby daddy, and obviously the wife will have to also be involved because when my child goes to his home, it's her home as well. And she said to me, one thing about me and my baby daddy's wives, both of them, because my baby daddies are both married, and both wives have made it clear that I will not, their husbands will not parent my children. And when I explained this to this lady, she's a bit older, and she said to me, you will never respect each other because you're the woman that stayed. You're the woman that left, and she's the woman that stayed. She does not respect me because he didn't choose you. You're single, and our priorities are not the same. So she was obviously, marriage is important to her, and to me maybe it might not be. So we obviously won't respect each other because I'm looking at her as weak, and she's looking at me as damn, probably also weak.
Because it's just like, how big is the lie?
You couldn't keep a man.
How big is the lie?
That's exactly.
And I was able to keep him, but at what cost?
At what cost? What cost? Only she knows. When this lady explained, Guti, you will never co-parent with these women because you will never respect each other. You don't respect her and she doesn't respect you. And for the reasons that you don't respect each other is because, one, you don't respect her because she stayed. You're looking at her as a fool. And two, and she doesn't respect you because she won. You left. You're the woman that left, you know? And when she said that, I was just like, damn. And
do you think in a situation whereby, say for example, hypothetically speaking, your child's father and the wife approached you, and if you guys were to have a conversation, do you think you guys could ever meet a ground where you're just like, you know what, I can respect you on the basis of you are now the second co-parent, or you are now married to my child's father, and I have to respect you on that basis and put everything else behind? Do you think that could happen?
I believe it can, and for the sake of my child, I would like for it to happen. You know, a lot has been said between the three of us, especially with my last one. With my first baby daddy, me and the wife only had one conversation. Where she basically said, they don't have money, even if I take them to court, I'm not getting nothing. She wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
But I did take him to court. That didn't stop me, because I think she was trying to stop me from taking her man to court. The second one, unfortunately, a lot has been said. You know, a lot. I mean, she had threatened to kill my child. She said, like, if she has my child, she'd kill her. But so I don't know if I can get over that. But if that part wasn't said more than once, I definitely would like I believe we can. Once she gets over the hurt, if she ever will get over the hurt. You know, once she gets over the hurt, we can actually sit, because I'm over the hurt. You know, now and then it kicks in, but I mean, I can imagine she was the one who was probably done more wrong than I was. Yeah. So her hurt goes beyond. Yeah. She was embarrassed. She went through a lot. And I feel like once she gets over all of that, we definitely could. We definitely could sit and have a conversation and co-parent. And I don't know if there'll ever be a respect, though, because of what it is. But I can see you. You're my child's other mother, and we can coexist.
We can coexist. Because I think that's where the divide happens. That married women, like you said, there's somewhat of a hierarchy. Yeah. Where married women feel they can never respect a woman who didn't sit it out, or who didn't begezela. In my case, I've never really experienced that. I've got friends who are married. I've got family members who are married. I told them my family now, and all the old cousins took silly me.
When I wish. The only one who's not married in Sethu's family is the little brother, and that's probably because he's 14. Otherwise, he would be married too.
But the thing is, I think the problem stems from there, that a married woman feels, I can't talk to you because I'm because we're not on the same level. Yeah. Which goes back to respect. I don't respect you like that.
Because I don't see you.
Where I can bring inking as a one to you. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? I don't respect you like that, where I can feel like you and I can have a common conversation. It's a thing of, automatically when a woman has a ring on their finger, and I've actually experienced this so much. When I just had my baby, or when I was pregnant with a ring on my finger, the amount of respect I received, even in the supermarket, compared to now the side eyes I receive, even from, do you understand that even other men, when I was married with a baby, or married with a baby and I had a ring on, they would look at you as, do you understand? Now you got a baby, there ain't no ring. Even in supermarkets, people look at you like, Even in, for example, when I used to go, my first few checkups I went with my husband, it was cute, it was la-di-da. And now you get there and you already feel out of place, because you see couples, and then when you're alone with the baby, or when you're alone with the baby and you're queuing there on your own, and you can already feel the room. Immediately when your child starts crying, everyone is just like, oh, shame, look at her. You know? Everyone's really like, oh, shame, look at her. So you can only imagine how then the woman who is married, because already society has
conditioned,
said, Uhuti,
you're better.
Babes, you're like quarter to right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. You're quarter to right at the bottom, because to them it's a thing of us for man.
And that's fine. And that's fine. I got the man, I kept the man. What are you doing?
Do you understand what I'm saying? But then it's a thing of, if we could really all sit outside of being moms, outside of being wives, and had conversations, we'd realize, oh my goodness,
we are all the same person.
Goodness.
And you know what you mentioned about, obviously as a married woman, you won't respect me enough to bring inking as a guaco to me, because we're not on the same level. I found that vibe so unfair, because if I'm friends with a married woman and she doesn't talk to me about her issues, because I'm protecting my marriage, I understand, protect your marriage. But you expect me to talk to you about my issues,
Yeah.
and my issues are my children.
Yeah.
Don't you think I need to protect my children?
Fair.
But I don't see you like that.
Fair.
For me, you're my friend, and I'm just talking. Because so guys, I need to protect my children more than I need to protect a marriage.
Also,
or a
like,
relationship.
what kind of friends do you have that you feel
you need to protect your marriage from them?
Like, I have the kind of friends where when we're sitting,
It's
yes, because it's a safe space.
Yes.
So then I also get worried, Uguti, what kind of friends then are you surrounding yourself, or what kind of a friend are you that you feel you need to guard yourself? What's happening?
What's happening? Yes. When you feel like you need to protect your marriage from me, but I'm your friend. Like, I'm your friend, but then you expect me to open up to you as if I don't have anything to protect.
And the how was the dates?
I was like, you don't tell me about your date night with your husband. Why am I supposed to tell you about?
Had a date night yesterday, and I
don't know about that.
I'm not allowed to ask. I saw the snaps on Instagram.
That's we know. But you want to hear about it. And I get it. And I get it, Chim, in that regard. It's just excitement for them.
Yeah.
But it's you're right. It's that double standard. But you don't want me to ask you about why. What's the difference? Because he's your husband.
Yeah.
And this is my boyfriend. And I think I've mentioned this in this channel. I think I've mentioned this also in Promise. Another thing I was hated for when I said on Promise's channel that I don't want to get married. So I'm just like, guys, that's still an issue for you. I don't want to get married. So it's just that thing. Why? Like, I don't want to get married. Like, I don't want to get married. So now, are you saying to me, as my married friend, that you'll never respect me?
Yeah.
Even if I can have a long-term relationship that spans over 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
And maybe you've been married 3 times, and your marriage maybe lasts 4 or 5 years. You'll never respect me just because I didn't call God and home affairs into my relationship.
Yeah, into the relationship. And it's hence I'm saying it's a respect thing.
Yeah.
Because if I can respect, and Mandy's saying she doesn't want to get married, and I'm a woman that's still saying I still want to get married, I respect Mandy's standpoint, and Mandy respects my standpoint.
I'll even be a bridesmaid.
She'll be there bridesmaiding,
I'll be there kicking people out who are not in theme. But didn't you know the theme is red and white? Why are you here orange?
Valentine can't do anyone's sunshine. Do you understand what I'm saying? And respecting each other in that regard, which also stems back to, if I am a wife, Mandy will understand and will respect me as a wife. Yeah. Mandy's a single mom, and I understand and I respect her in that regard. Because outside of all of that, guys, we are still people.
We're still human, we're still women, and I can't reiterate enough how much we are more alike than we'd like to admit. Like, as women, married, single, dating, we are literally going through the exact same things. Like, especially as mothers, we go through the exact same thing. Whether I'm fighting with my baby daddy's family, you might also be fighting with your in-laws.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. The only difference that we're not married, and the fact that we have ostracized each other and created this bridge. It keeps us away from creating such amazing connections and such amazing friendship, and most importantly, the learnings we can learn from each other.
It's like what your friend Uteniko basically said, where she's at, she's basically learning a lot from you.
Yeah.
And if she was an open person, or if she had a channel or whatever, I mean, I watch married woman channels.
Yes.
I watch full family channels with the mom and the dad and kids and whatever. And then I also relate to your content. I watch your content. My point is,
none of it triggers you.
Yes, none of it triggers me. In a sense, Yoguti, I'm not in any way. What causes triggers, I would say, is unresolved feelings or unresolved emotions on a certain topic or on a certain thing or on someone's life.
Yeah.
For example, if someone is being triggered by the fact that Mandy is a single mom who's open and talking about it, means there's something unresolved within yourself. Do you understand? I can watch, who's this lady that I love watching? Nazanin. She's an American YouTuber. I can watch Osnekuku with her husband. They've got a beautiful marriage. They've got a beautiful life. Do you understand what I'm saying? And not feel anything, because I've resolved those feelings within myself to know, okay, one day And it's actually nice to watch because it's like, the same way thing you can say, I'm learning from Mandy being a single mom, making it work. I'm learning from Snake Ukuguti. You know what?
Husband. Yeah.
I actually love this. And the fact that and she cooks for her man and it's a tray every day. And she washes that man's hands. Like, that's beautiful. That's beautiful for me.
Even for me, who don't care for marriage, I look at that and I'm like, oh my God, that's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I feel, Uguti, the minute someone becomes triggered by your content or by something you say, but it's not about you. It probably has nothing to do with you. They need to resolve some stuff.
It has taken a while. It has taken a while for me to realize it's actually got nothing to do with me. I don't even know if I have come fully to that. Well, but I don't know, thinking as out. But once in a while, I'm like, hi man, why does this group of people like hate me so much? And I want to go back to what didn't you go, like we were talking, and she said, so she met her husband. I think he had a 5-year-old, you know, and she says whenever she watches my video, the compassion that she has towards her husband's baby mama grows every day. Yeah. Because she's like, there was a point where I think maybe the husband, I'm making it up, but I can't remember exactly. But let's say maybe the husband was fetching the child one weekend a month, and she says, I watch your channel and now we fetch the child every weekend because now I can see what the mother is going through. Okay, do you want to take that back?
No.
Okay. I can see what my husband's baby mama goes through, and I understand, and she sees it through me because the husband's baby mama was never going to tell her that, you know. Yeah. So now she sees it through me. So it's just that thing, Guti, when you, as you're saying, when you're in a good space and you I guess not healed, but for lack of a better word, healed, you've done the work, you can actually watch my channel and realize that shit, my husband's baby mama is going through the most. Yeah. Let me pick up the phone and actually tell her to bring the kids this weekend instead of, you know.
My goodness.
You know.
My goodness.
And
oh my word. It's basically opened her up to actually see things from that perspective.
And that's why she's saying the compassion that she has towards her baby mama grows every time she watches my channel because she's like, shit man, my husband's baby mama has it bad.
Girl, can I
this me, you know? And I can watch channels of people who are married and came into the marriage with children, and I learned that it's possible, it's doable, you know. And I can one day end up with my life partner, and I'm coming in with my children, and this is how to navigate. And that's why for me, and if you are the married woman who came into a marriage with children, and I'm the single mom looking at you, but we're not friends, I'm missing out on an opportunity to learn how to blend families.
Yeah, that's true.
And you are missing out on an opportunity to learn what your husband's baby mama goes through.
Can you imagine if I didn't resolve or accept the situation that I was in when what happened to me happened? I would have never been able to watch your content and learn what I've learned.
You couldn't have,
because I would have still been mad. I probably would have been in the comments like...
That's why he left you.
That's why he left you.
Literally, those women on Promises podcast were basically saying that I deserve what happened to me.
But now I can actually, I was watching your content from a place of, I fell in love with your content because number one, it was real, it was authentic. We spoke about this in the previous thingy. But more than anything, I felt that yes, she's being real, yes, she's being authentic, but I had now accepted my situation for what it was, and now I was learning. And I feel like it was so crazy even how I came across your content, like it just popped up on my For You page, and I'm so glad that it did because it met me at the right time. I had made peace with my situation, and now God was saying, and look, like you can do it. You can do it. If Maddie can do it with 2 and a teenager. A teenager and a toddler. Honey, you can do it with your 3-month-old. You can do it with your 4-month-old. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's a conversation that women need to have among each other, which goes back to like the Mother's Day brunches that we do, these podcasts that we do. If we can start integrating and stop having the married girls club and single moms club and just have the girls club where we actually come together and talk as moms, we'll actually realize that guys,
Stefan, because even in the single moms club, we can have a single mom clubs. Our story is not the same because, see, I'm a single mom. So you're a single mom by definition of the Oxford Dictionary says a definition of a single mom is a mother who's not married.
Yeah, but
you have a co-parent. You know, I'm the single mom who doesn't even have no co-parent. Nobody from the paternal side gives a fuck. Nothing. Yeah. So even in the single moms clubs, there's still dynamics. There's still one can say there's still a hierarchy. True. Well, I'm not a co-parent. At least my baby dad is still around, you know.
And like, there's the ones that are right at the top where they're like, yeah, me and my baby dad are like best friends.
We're like best friends. Just like, oh,
you made it, Unati. Thank you.
Unati, thank you. Yes. So I want Unati. If it was class then Unati would be top dog. Yeah. Then you would be okay next. At least now I've got he picks her up and he drops her off whatever. Then there's me. Pow me.
Even in this hierarchy.
Now imagine if that's how we treated each other right now. And it's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. I wanted you here because you've experienced both sides. And not to say one is better than the other, but I like how you say that. I like how you still acknowledge that, okay, it was nice obviously to go to the doctor's appointments with him. Yes, and also acknowledge that, Uti, you're obviously a better mom without him. Yeah. I'm not here to try to encourage people to leave their marriages or whatever. But I think what I've learned about my purpose is to show you guys that it's doable. Like we can do it. So that's why I was trying to reiterate here. I would say to literally, please do not leave your marriages. I mean, if he's a cheater, you leave. If he beats you up, please go.
But also, if you want to stay, if that's your job.
I'm not here to encourage you to leave your marriages, but I just wanted to have a Sethu because she's been on both ends, and the nice part about it is that she's still co-parenting. Like it's not like it's like it's done, and she's survived on both ends.
I have. And it was just a decision that Sethu made. That went for Sethu. And we can respect each other.
And no single woman.
I don't think but besides that, I don't think any woman as well we didn't go into our marriages like, we just want to have these men's babies and leave them. Like, people feel like, you deserve. No, guys. I don't think anyone deserves to be a single mom.
No one wakes up. I mean, there are some women who go through IVF and decide I want to be, but it's hardly. Guys, even when you're making this child with this person, you're not making it thinking, I'm going to be a single mom. It's like when you're married, obviously you're not thinking it's going to end. You don't want it to. But then when you find yourself there, then we are told to choose better baby daddies. It's the accountability is always on the woman.
Yeah. And it's so crazy that married women create the stigma, because then what happens, it's crazy because it's wild, because I'm looking at aunt. In her situation, she became a single mom because the father of her kids died. So imagine being stigmatized for something that you
not even in your control.
Like, you didn't see it coming really because you don't think of that. But when something that wasn't even in your control, you weren't even part of that decision making. You weren't even part. You
was not conversation that had.
This person came back from home on Wednesday. Thursday, you come back from work and he's no longer breathing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then do we still stigmatize those women? Do we still make those women feel like they're at the bottom of the barrel? Do we still make those women feel like, I can't have a conversation with you because when you're a single mom. You're a single mom. What should I claim? And it's just like, but really? But really?
You know that one, and I never think about that.
And it's crazy because her and I, Auntie's the lady that works like her, we always have those types of conversations, and sometimes it really breaks my heart because when she really relays her story back and how now she's had to basically create her own community, she'll tell you, I don't have friends. I don't have friends. And it makes sense now because obviously she's a church woman. In the church, it's either you're married or you're not. Either you're married or you're not. Do you know what I'm saying? It's either you're married or you're not. Literally. And
there's no space for divorced women. There's no space for widows.
Especially at her age. Yeah. So then we need to have the conversation of, but then guys, do you see we're all just people?
We're all people, we're all the same, and we all go through the same.
Because there's Sethu who left her marriage because it was dysfunctional and decided to raise her daughter on her own and now co-parenting. And then there's an Auntie Miriam who was left with kids.
Her husband was taken.
So what do we do? Are you guys putting me and Miriam in the same?
Yeah.
why are we even putting each other
anyway?
Why?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Why are we even put? Or is it because Sethu made the decision on her own? Yeah, it's fine. What is it then? Where are we? That
is the question. Like, where are we?
Yeah.
But for me, I always feel like no matter where we are, as mentioned, if that's the logic we're going by, I'm at the basement.
You are in the basement, my dear.
The basement of hell. That's how low I am. In the hierarchy.
I'm a whole divorcee. Oh, some guy actually said that. I remember. Dudes. It was the same guy actually. We were talking about in the previous video who wanted to know what happens when my child's father comes to pick him up, and he brought it up. I remember like our first few conversations. He would ask me, so how does it feel to be a divorcee? So you're a divorcee?
Yeah.
Guys, what are we gonna do? He kept on asking me, so you're a divorcee?
What was it?
And basically,
what did he want his response to be?
I have no idea, because I'll just be like, why are you asking me, Sana? Also, like, what is your question? Like, what is your question? It literally feels like anyone who's single. It's just like Home Affairs now has a record of the fact that you were once me and my partner dumped each other. Do you understand what I'm saying? Unlike you guys, maybe Abanye, you guys got records whoopee in that Paris thing, the lock. Fine. Mine is a Home Affairs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mine is at Home Affairs.
Yeah.
It feels like any normal person who was in a relationship, a long-term relationship, and then it falls apart. And for him, it was just like, that was a thing for me. Like, that was, he labeled me as that. On top of labeling me as a single mom, now I'm a divorcee, because it would keep on coming up. With every time we're having a little heart-to-heart.
He clearly had his own issues.
And no, he had issues.
Once again, guys, I'm not trying to like encourage anyone to leave their marriage, but if you want to, please do. You can do bad all by yourself, girl. Trust me. You are better off alone than having to be with someone who's not supportive.
Yeah.
But with that being said, if you're in a great marriage and a great relationship, please stay and you can sort it out. And also, I was saying to Sethu's other video that she did, representation for me matters. Like, it's so beautiful to have people DMing me saying, I came into my marriage with 3 kids and we are blending it and it's working out and I co-parent very well with my husband's baby mama. Those stories are amazing. So please do drop your stories if you're obviously comfortable about the positive relationships you have with the single woman in your life, or the positive relationships that you have with the married woman in your life, because we do need to come together. We have so much more alike than we'd like to admit, and the minute we realize that, the better connections there'll be, the better friendships we can make, and the better stepmothers will be. Because once the married woman realizes as a single mother what you're going through, you will stop thinking that I want your husband, and you want to start thinking shit actually.
And actually start thinking for the child.
For the child.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also maybe in the comment section, let us know what you might think, because maybe we might be wrong. What you might think the stigma,
what the issue is,
or the issue that married women have with single women, or have with single moms, or that they feel is it the hierarchy thing? Is it a respect thing? Is it a thing of we didn't beg his out? I don't know.
Or do you even have an issue? Is it in our heads, maybe?
Yeah, maybe we're actually making this up.
Maybe we're making this up.
Even though, like, we see
We've lived it.
But
We've lived it, you know?
But okay.
Let's see. But you know what, guys? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I know that you literally still in the thick of it, or like your marriage ended this year. It's very, very early.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I mean, my marriage ended about a year ago, but it was fine.
Officially
Officially,
yes.
Yeah.
You know. So, but thank you for agreeing to speak about something that's still so fresh.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little sit down. Here's to more next year. Your class is done. We'll have more next year. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.